How often does a guy talk to a female for a long, she keeps sending him signals of interest, and they all fly right over his head? Although we don't have specific statistics, it occurs quite frequently. You have probably also gone through it. The thought that girls are sending them signals that they are interested in him may make those of you who are reading this a little perplexed. It's true that many girls will obliquely express their desire for you romantically by laughing at your jokes or by doing more overt behavior. Sadly, guys rarely receive basic instruction in how to express sexual intent non-verbally. As a result, they frequently overlook cues that a woman likes them. Fortunately, there is a way to find out about these symptoms. Here are the signs she is trying to seduce you. So let's start. Number 7. She shows you some skin. Some girls will attempt harder to pique your interest if talking about sex doesn't quite do the trick to seduce a man. She might become a little more visual if talking doesn't work. Don't get your hopes up, she won't strip for you. She will instead do a more subdued action, so much so that you might not even realize it was intentional. For instance, she might only remain in that position long enough for you to glimpse her cleavage if she leans forward to pick up something. She won't shout at you or anything, but she will plainly display the goods to get your attention. She doesn't instantly cover herself up, so you can see that she wanted you to see a little more than usual. We assure you that she does not intentionally provide more information than necessary. She's giving you plenty of reason to believe that she'd welcome an outing with you. It would be advisable to not make a big deal out of it if you witness a girl doing this in front of you. Just take note of it and consider it a potential signal. Number 6. When the night is over, she is waiting for you. Drawing out the tension for as long as both of you can handle it is the most enjoyable part of seduction. Your entire time spent together is a form of mental foreplay. You can be confident that she's prepared to move further with you if she's willing to hang out late into the night. So if she doesn't pretend to have an urgent phone call from her female pals while you're out partying or drinking, she's probably already committed. This is as obvious a symptom as it gets when combined with some or all of the warning signals listed above. Number 5. Mangerful. Body language signs that shows she's into you. Don't think of the eyes as the soul's window. The eyes are the window to desire when you're out on a date. Her cards will be visible in her eyes. She doesn't stare at your lips because she thinks they're uninteresting, instead, she does it because she keeps picturing herself kissing them. Whatever piques our curiosity the most attracts our eyes. Whether the thing we want is a phone, a TV, a woman with a great smile, or the lips of your date. You can usually tell if a lady is attracted to you sexually if you catch her looking at your lips. Her gaze will mostly be fixed on you while you're out on a date. Don't assume that this is a sexual attraction right away. Simply put, this shows respect. Her respectful stare, however, simply turned more sexual if those eyes wander down to your lips, chest, arms, or back. Number 4. She wants to sit next to you. We put up barriers when women are apprehensive of a man. We stroll with our arms crossed, purses in the center of the table, and a safe gap between us. However, those boundaries are reduced when we are fond of a man. In order to protect oneself from unwanted sexual advances, boundaries are created. We just won't sit next to you if you intend to touch our legs from underneath the table, but just because we sit next to you doesn't mean we have to desire to be touched. Barriers are being taken down as an indication that we are becoming more at ease around you. To get closer to you and be able to touch you, we close the proximity gap. But don't touch her underwear simply because she opted to sit close to you. Instead, feel free to lightly touch her to gauge her reaction. Look at her hands, poke her with your elbow in a kind way, and touch her upper back. After touching her, observe her reaction. She appreciates your curious touch and wants more if she gets more closer to you or initiates physical contact. Heat items gently, and if in doubt, avoid touching anything. Even if you're positive she likes you, that doesn't imply you should continue to touch her during the rest of the evening. Increased sexual tension can be achieved by lavishing her with attention and then abruptly withholding it. Number 3. She touches herself. The way a female touches herself is one of the simpler warning flags to look out for when speaking to her. No, we are not implying anything sexually explicit. It is much more graceful and subdued. Specifically, a lady is more likely to delicately touch the region between her breasts and her clavicle when she is interested in you. She will almost always be gently massaging this area of her with her fingertips. But why is she acting in this manner? Most of the time, it's a subtle method to get your attention. After all, she is essentially pointing with her finger towards her breasts, or the surrounding area. It's a fairly obvious indicator. For this reason, pay attention to a girl's body language the next time you speak to her. It's a positive sign if she's touching her body more frequently, whether it's her hand, her clavicle, or anything else. Don't rush into serenading her if she's only stroking bits of herself, because it doesn't mean she's into you. It's a reliable predictor, but keep an eye out for further signs as well. Number 2. She touches you. She is clearly trying to get your attention when she touches herself. Her touching you, though, is even more trustworthy. It indicates that she is approaching you close enough to physically invade your personal space. She's letting you into hers as a result. We're not talking about a simple brushing of the arm or back, mind you. That's fine and all, but the signal isn't strong enough. However, it's a good indicator if she places her hand on your chest, leg, or any place close to your groin. By that time, she is at ease with you enough to express her sexual desire in you openly. If a lady tries to touch you in this way, it's a strong enough indication of attraction for you to feel more comfortable making an approach. You can now be a little more forthcoming about your objectives moving forward. Make plans to do something with her, ask her out, and learn more about her. But hold off on the kiss just yet. This dance has much more to offer, and you're only beginning to warm up. However, at least you are aware that you are dancing now. Number 1. She talks about sex. With all of these pointers in mind, you might be prepared to observe a girl's movements while ignoring what she says. However, that would be a grave error. You miss out on other important clues that a female loves you, in addition to the fact that it's creepy and disrespectful to talk to someone. All throughout the things she says to you, she'll drop these subtle hints. If you don't notice the subtler cues, a girl will frequently start giving out more obvious cues. One of these signs is discussing sex more, or at least discussing it openly. It might start off as a casual sexual allusion. She would eventually bring it up more than just briefly and insist on asking you personal questions. You may be wondering what this is all for. It keeps making you think of sex, which is the reasoning for it. Therefore, you are conversing with her even while having sex is on your mind. That causes your mind to unconsciously associate the two. Even if it isn't the world's most cunning move, it is undoubtedly clever. Plus, it completes the task, as long as the guy is at least somewhat perceptive. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoy this video and want to hear from me again, be sure to hit that subscribe button before you go. Thanks for watching.